Live at 5, this is 13 News Now.
New details unfolding and the rap sheet continues to grow. Police say 3 crime scenes in 3 different cities are all connected. And these men, James Gregory and Leonard Morrison, are accused of playing a role in all of them. David shows us the alleged trail of crime these suspects left in their wake.
All right, Jenna, let's break this down just a little bit. First of all, it all started Sunday, just before noon, with 2 people found dead in the Alexandria neighborhood in Virginia Beach. Police found 2 men dead in a home on Archives Court. Then, let's follow along more right here. Investigators say Gregory and Morrison robbed a GameStop in Chesapeake. This happened Monday morning after 10 o'clock, and there's more to follow here. That same day, around 2:30 in the afternoon, Gregory, Morrison, and another suspect, Alan Ralph, right there, are accused of holding up another GameStop. This one in Hampton, near the Hampton Town Center. When officers responded to the robbery, they say one suspect wrestled away an officer's gun, leading to a police officer and the suspect being shot. Jacqueline Lee joins us live from Portsmouth, where suspect James Gregory lives. And Jacqueline, you spoke with his roommate.
That's right, David. The roommate tells me that James Gregory was only living here for 2 weeks. She tells me that she's terrified this crime spree happened, but she's not entirely surprised.
James asked me to stay here, and I told him, sure. He told me he was homeless, he couldn't go back to his mom's house.
And that begins the story of how James Gregory came to live under Tamisha Brown's roof. She didn't want to show her face, but said Gregory used to have addiction problems.
Like he was trying to get back where he needed to be.
But she said the trouble started whenever he brought his friend over, Leonard Morrison.
It's something different with y'all. Y'all got different vibe and different gestures, or y'all screaming and yelling.
Brown said Gregory failed to pay rent after kicking him out. Apparently, he kicked in her door early Monday morning, and Morrison pulled out a gun. A day after police say the pair killed 2 men in Virginia Beach.
He pulled out a gun on my sister, and he said while I was on the phone with the police, I'm not scared of them. Tell them to come on. And he still was waving the gun around.
The 2 men ran off, and that's when police said they robbed a GameStop in Chesapeake. Brown said at the time she didn't know it, but they came back to her house after.
It was a PlayStation in my house, a Cricket cell phone. I don't know if they got that from stealing or whatever, but they did put $500 in my hand.
Brown said the pair took off again. This time, they were headed to Hampton, where police said they tried to rob another GameStop, but it eventually resulted in an officer-involved shooting.
I'm terrified, scared for my son's life, because I still don't know who else has been connected with the rest of this craziness they have had going on.
And Gregory is currently behind bars in Hampton. Morrison is in the hospital after that officer-involved shooting. Both of them were arraigned in court yesterday for those Hampton crimes. No word yet on when they will go to court for the Virginia Beach double murder. Live in Portsmouth, Jacqueline Lee, 13 News Now.
Guilty of a sex crime, a judge handed that decision down today to former church worker Jeffrey Bondi. Stephen Graves was in Virginia Beach for the verdict, and Stephen, the victim in the case, spoke with you today.
She did, and it's the first time she's publicly telling her side. This is rare, you know, allowing us to put a face and name to a person who claims her life was drastically changed by one man. Jeffrey Bondi hangs his head in disappointment as a judge finds him guilty of a felony sex crime. Standing room only in the courtroom when his family and friends wept as they heard the news. But it's a win for the victim, Margaret Ann Viola, and her family.
It's been hard for everybody. You know, the community was betrayed, and my family suffered a lot and worried about my well-being.
Now in her 30s, Viola says her life changed at 18 while babysitting Bondi's kids at his Virginia Beach home. Prosecutors say the former church leader at Galilee Church forced himself onto her. In court, the defense questioned her story, saying there are flaws in her account of what happened.
We think the delay in the reporting, the way it was reported differently throughout the years, and the mere fact that she spoke to legal counsel a year after the incident is very telling.
You don't always feel at first that you understand the entire thing. It's very complicated when it's somebody that you know and trust and loved.
The defense says contact with the victim never went as far as their client is being convicted of.
We believe there's a reasonable doubt.
It was a little ridiculous to me, to be honest.
In the end, the judge, a father himself, said even though Viola was an adult at the time, that she was innocent, naive, and trusted Bondi. Viola now lives in California, working as a stand-up comedian. She says today is a step to healing. And right now, Bondi is out on bond until sentencing in October. The defense says all of this attention on the story is punishment enough for their client. Viola tells us what should be appropriate for his punishment at 6. Stephen Graves, 13 News Now.
We have new information on a huge church fire last night in Portsmouth. Fire officials have determined a lightning strike caused the fire. The flames started last night just before 6:30 at the Mount Sinai United Holy Church on Columbus Avenue near Frederick Boulevard. Miracle Christian Center also uses the building. No one was in the church when it caught fire. Good news is coming for drivers who use the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel.
And the Federal Highway Administration has recommended to expand the HRBT. Our Allie Weatherton is here now to explain what this means for you.
This means relief may be coming for drivers. The Hampton Roads Crossing study had 3 alternatives, and the preferred pick was to add a bridge tunnel near the current location. This means drivers will have 3 lanes crossing the water in each direction. The new 3-lane bridge tunnel will cross the water just west of the existing HRBT. It'll serve eastbound traffic heading from Hampton to Norfolk. Crews also would add a lane on the approach to the HRBT and one on the Norfolk side to the Interstate of 564. Westbound lanes would also expand on both sides of the water. The current HRBT would serve all westbound traffic. One of the current tubes would be 2 lanes and the other would go down to 1. Secretary of Transportation Aubrey Lane says this is a huge plan and will help with traffic flow.
We're moving very quickly, and we're hoping here in the next 6 to 8 months this project will be under procurement and under construction here in a few years.
Decision by the Federal Highway Administration was made. It clears the way for VDOT to begin the process of soliciting companies who went to design and build the bridge tunnel. Allie Weatherton, 13 News Now.
New information about a Virginia Beach high school senior who got into trouble for toilet papering his school. We learned Hayden Anderson was allowed to walk with his classmates during Tallwood High School's graduation today.
Hayden LaRue Anderson with honors. Winston.
You hear that? With honors. Anderson was suspended for 3 days and previously thought he wouldn't be able to attend graduation. He says he covered the school in toilet paper as a prank earlier this week, and Anderson says other people also helped pull off the prank, but he did not give their names to the principal. He was a beloved figure in Williamsburg. Tom Power was the owner of the cheese shop right in the heart of Colonial Williamsburg's Merchant Square. Power recently passed away, and his death did not go unnoticed by the community. Nico Clemens has the story.
Bye, guys. Hope you have a good afternoon. Can one person make a long-lasting, positive impact on a community? Well, mention the name Tom Power, and here's the response you'll get.
I will always associate him with what was good about Williamsburg.
Here he is with his wife and kids outside the cheese shop in Williamsburg.
It's kind of a place we come to say, this is what Williamsburg is about.
Power and his wife Mary Ellen started the business in 1971. They moved around a couple times, finally calling this 1930s era building in the heart of Merchant Square home. Faith Cummings and her husband moved to Williamsburg almost 40 years ago and instantly formed a relationship with the Powers.
We both had Jaguars at one time or another, and we love to talk about what a great car that was.
Which is why this week's news came as a complete shock. Power died Tuesday while on vacation in Bermuda with his wife. He got caught up in the current while swimming in the waters of Bermuda.
And I wish I'd been able to say goodbye to him and tell him what a difference he had made in the cheese shop, in the town, every place, in my life.
A huge loss for the community, a community Power gave so much to.
It makes me want to think, well, what am I doing with my life that I can help other people like he has helped other people?
Power worked hard to earn the trust and loyalty of those who walked in and out of the cheese shop.
There aren't many like him.
And one thing's for sure, nobody will ever forget all he did for the community. In Williamsburg, Nico Clemens, 13 News Now.